So, I got a vlog for the world. And for me, obviously, to come back and revisit. Uh, I may have a co-host soon. Just saying, just gonna put it out there. So today, I had to go run some errands. I had to go get get my mail, and it's just a little bit of a journey to do that because I have not purchased a home yet. So I have my mail, um, most my important mail and documents going to a secure location, and so I went to do that. I know I needed to do that. So I went to go do that today. And of course, I plan to go very early so I could be back early. Check mark. It's not even 12 o'clock. I'm back. Okay. And I just initially prepared to plan to take the bus out there. But then I missed the bus, like maybe by a few minutes. And I was like, I'm not going to wait here a whole hour till the next bus comes and there's a train right there, you know? So I said, whatever, I'm just going to deal with the train. And I knew it was going to be crowded because people be going out to shop and whatever. Yes, early on a Saturday morning is like rush hour on a Monday morning. But nonetheless, I went that direction, right? So, I'm taking my time. I'm not rushing. My goal is just to get there and to get back, right? Interesting. I get on the train, and before I could even get on the train, this is after I take the train from New Jersey to New York. My mailbox is over there. Before I get or after I get off of the Jersey train, and now I'm getting on the New York train to take me to the location of the post office, right? This guy rushes on ahead of me, um, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, gentlemen first. And I'm just like, Lord have mercy, I'm outside with all these people on this early Saturday morning. Okay, I must be built for whatever, right? I have a thing that I was gonna do a call out for the Menly Men to please to I don't know where they are, but please come back into existence. But I didn't even have to do that. I didn't even have to do the call out. I just had to think it. I just had to think it. I just had to think it, and it was answered. It was answered. I had the most phenomenal morning with a manly man. I had the most phenomenal morning with a manly man, with a healthy, masculine male. They are there. They do exist, ladies. Ladies, I want you to know they exist. They are there. They are freaking there. It may take a little bit for you know it happens, but know that they exist. I said that little thing under my tone. I had to apologize for making an assumption because in reality, the guy who rushed ahead of me was rushing so that he can get a seat for his mother, his madre. And I thought that was sweet, and I was like, oh, okay, I get it. She's like 40 years older than me, and people think that they don't know. They don't see my legs. They don't know the penas in my legs. So I get it. I get it. I saw it. And I just, stood and waited for a seat. A seat came up the very next stop, right? I sit down and I'm just sitting there riding to my destination, right? And I take a quick scan, the train or whatever. People just commuting, people just being people. Now directly across from me, there's a man that is he's not the only one that sleeps. Other people sleep on the train too. And I don't pay him too much mind, until he wakes up. Now when he wakes up and he's like, he sees me and he's smiling, and I'm like, okay. Like he just woke up and saw me and started smiling, and I was just like, okay. I mean, that's a good thing because before I even decided to travel, when I go rest and I get up and stuff like that, I'd be like, oh, it'd be nice. Be nice if I had a boyfriend, you know. Be nice if somebody's like really like just into me like that. Like, you know. That'd be nice, you know. And I'd just be like, oh, one day I got my pillows right now. I got my pillows. I got my pillows. My pillows. So for him to wake up and smile as soon as he saw me, it was just like, okay. And I was sitting down. So it wasn't like he woke up and saw my bomb. You know, I was sitting on it. You know, even though I had one, he didn't even know I had one. He even know I had one, so I stood up. And so, I saw him see me, and I was just like, okay, I felt a little awkward a little bit, but I was still flattered. It was a, it was a genuine energy. It was a genuine. It wasn't an energy. See, I'm just really appreciative to have experience. The most experience I've had, I shared this in my last live. I don't think I made it public yet, but the most experience I've had with healthy masculinity has been where I study at. And I appreciate that because I really, really appreciate that because I have dealt with the opposite or the absence of masculinity, period, for the greater part of my youth. And so now, as a woman who has done a lot of inner work, a lot of self reflecting, I still have work to do, more so outer work than inner work at this point, because I'm getting my legs together and strengthened. I'm getting my mobility back. So yeah, I really appreciate it. It's not something that I take for granted or something that I even expect. Other women may have that expectation, right? But I don't have that expectation. It's something that I'm happy that it exists. I'm very appreciative that I get to experience it and I get to recognize it because there's a difference. And the differences you cannot always just see on the outside. The differences come with when you're communicating and when you're interacting. And that's what the differences are. And I'm just like, okay, 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 okay. So I noticed that, and I'm just like, I didn't know how to I not notice it. So I was reading something directly behind them, which is how I even noticed it. There was a uh, advertisement, and they have these advertisements now in New York where it's like a TV. It's not like just a picture. It's TV. It's digital. It's moving and stuff is happening. So I'm like reading the stuff, and then he just wakes up out of slumber and is like, and I'm like, okay. I feel a little awkward right now. Okay, I didn't even put no cover up on today, people. All I did was put on some mascara and like that's it, and put on some lipstick. That was it. I was like, I'm gonna let my skin breathe today, which is clearing up pretty good. But anyway, so I get up to get off of my stop, which is maybe a couple of stops after he woke up, right? And he gets off at the same stop. I was hoping he said something before I got off, but he didn't. But he got off the stop with me, and I was like, oh, okay, well, maybe he'll say something. I didn't say nothing. I'm going about my business. And we both get on this escalator. Escalator is long. It's an extra long escalator. It's coming up like two flights, right? There are longer ones downtown Manhattan, but this particular one was long, right? And we're riding up it, and we get like halfway up, and he's like, excuse me," and I'm like, "Yes," and he's like, "Can I invite you to my birthday party?" And I'm like, "Sure." Now, to catch myself, because this is he asked me something else. He invited me somewhere else. And I was like, sure. And then I was like, wait, where is it at? I have to ask, where is it at first, okay? Because I have to be able to get there. So we are in New York, right? I say sure. I just automatically assumed, here I go again, making these assumptions that it was going to be in New York, which makes it easy for me to get to. Um, and so I asked him, where's it at? And he's like, oh, it's in Jersey. I was like, oh, I reside over there. That's my grades. I reside over there. And it's like, oh, yeah, is this where it's at? And he tells me a town that I've never even heard of before. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm not from there. I'm from here, you know? And we just have a general good conversation and we're conversing. And I'm like, well, hey, you want to like come with me to get my mail? And he's like, sure, So he comes with me to get the mail. And then I'm like, okay. And then we ride back to Jerry. But he's like a gentleman the whole entire way, the whole entire interaction. And then I find out, this is birthdays today, I find out that for his birthday, he decides to hang out with his coworkers, and he works at a pool hall. So he's hanging out with his coworkers, and I don't know what time he left, but I know the pool hall eventually closed. So maybe he hangs out a little bit after it closed. I'm gonna guess probably not far after like 2 or 3 or something. I don't know, you know. And then he was supposed to be going home, but he was tipsy. And I don't know why they didn't make sure he like got into a cab or something home, but he does not go home. He does not go home. He gets on the train to go home. He gets on the train to go home after hanging out with his buddies. I told him I was going to talk about him on my podcast. He never made it home. He overslept. He is making it home, obviously, but he overslept. He overslept. He overslept and woke up when I saw him wake up, which was like had to be like 8:30, maybe 9 o'clock in the morning. That's when he woke up across from me. Yeah. But we had a wonderful time. I just thought that part was hilarious. He's like, and he's a younger gentleman. He's a younger gentleman, and I used to be, because I'm like I'm too mature. I'm too mature. But there are parts of me that are still, that still enjoy different things like video games. I enjoy video games. I enjoy cartoons. I enjoy video games. My inner child is still very vibrant. So I do still, and I approach life with that type of mentality. I'm not now. If a vibration is funny, a vibration is funny. I'm not going to be like open and receptive. I'm not open and receptive to any and everything and everybody. I'm just not. But when the vibes are good, and I know, like I can feel when it's good. And then I pay attention, and the evidence adds up, and I'm just like, oh, okay, yeah, all right. This intuition of mine is pretty good. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Okay. 4 decades on the planet, and yes, I can say that it's pretty freaking good. And it was a great experience. So I'm excited. I'm excited how everything else begins to unfold. It was quite a morning. Oh, he treated me to breakfast, which I just ate. I'm sorry, I'm a foodie, so I'm not really apologizing for being a foodie, but couldn't show you what it looked like because it's gone. But healthy stuff, prep. Where is it at? Here we go. Fresh prep. This was a chicken, elote, corn, and avocado salad. So I got my greens in. I had me a nice iced coffee. And I'm just like, oh, my Saturday started pretty darn freaking good. I'm glad I got the freak out and went to and do my errands. And I'm glad I didn't do it before because like that synchronicity, that's synchronicity on top of me having that thought and then just I'm like, okay, let me think about $1 million. Let me think about that. Because I love life. I love life. I love life. And I wanna see more health and vibrancy where I am. I do. If I had If I had $1 million, I would probably, um, mm, perhaps purchase a home. You know, pay off some debt. I just got a bill, like 40. One of my community um, organizations has debt to pay. Interestingly, um, anywho, so I didn't come on here to talk about that. It's really not. It's really a song and dance at this point. At this point, I am gonna say it because it's on my mind because it is because it's sitting right there. The bill is sitting right there. It's a song and dance because I know I'm gonna get more. I know I'm gonna get more. So I kind of just want to do it just because I know I'm gonna get more. You know what I'm saying? And I know that if I satisfy this debt, that it's going to increase the credit limit. And so when I'm ready to step forward and do these big things, I'll have access to the funds that I need to do these big things. Um, and I love my dorm. I call this my dorm. I love my dorm. It's spacious. It's enough room. It's safe. It's secure. It's private. I got a great view. I have no complaints about the dorm inside of the dorm itself. You know, my private quarters. No complaints at all. It's just when I step out, you know, and it's just the condition of the people, and I feel the fact that I notice the condition of the people, the fact that I care about the condition of the people, positions me to be one of the people that apply solutions and provide solutions and create solutions for them. Yes, there are a bunch of centers and places and spaces. However, there's room for more because there's people that need more, and there's such a huge population of individuals who really need um, a healing, supportive space for them to go to and get services from so that they can do the work that they need to do for themselves, you know? It's so easy for them to just stay in that loophole of of hurt and of pain and of trauma. You know, it's easy. And then you have other people who capitalize off of their pain and, you know, they're like, hey, take this. You won't feel it for a moment. And then they don't feel it for a moment, but nothing has changed. You know, I want to provide them real solutions. So that stuff is happening, you know. That stuff is happening. That stuff is happening because I see the connections and I really feel that I am connected to people who genuinely want to also be of assistance. And perhaps they don't see what I see as much as I see what I see because they reside in different areas. So they may like maybe commuting, they may see somebody in the middle of the street that's struggling with substance abuse, and you know they just see one here or there, but there's a bunch of them. Like I live, and my well, I don't say I live, but where my residence is at, is the hood. It ain't the new and improved hood. It's the hood. It's like the hood in the 90s. It's like when I was a little girl hood here now in the 2020s here, you know. So it's like they still hug the block out here. I don't feel like they're doing that in New York anymore, you know. Not saying that they're not. I, I don't think they're doing it like that no more. You know, I think they've had enough. They've seen enough evidence that it doesn't take our people anywhere. So I think that even if young entrepreneurial minds decided to be solicitors of substances, that they don't stay there. I feel like they get in and they get out. They're like, okay, this is not a long term business model because it hurts folks and it endangers their freedom. So I think they get in, they get out, and they put their investments into other things that can be profitable and that can be long term business solutions and provide them, you know, solutions for themselves and for their families. Here, yeah, here they're hugging the block. Like it's 2025. Why? Why? You got cryptocurrency. You got so many different avenues to make an honest dollar. To hug the block in 2025 is just not feasible. It just don't make no sense. Like, come on. We like the way they came and they dumped substances into our communities. What in the 80s? Um, Here we talk about 80s, the 90s, so 80s decade, 90s, thousands, 2010s. It's been 50 years. It's been 50 freaking years. We see the trajectory. We got enough evidence that this is not the way to do it. That ain't the way. That ain't the way. That ain't the way. But they like, well, what do we do? What do we do? And then there's so many distractions in our culture between the asses and the monies and the this and the that, and so they don't know. They're just in a loophole, like having fun, but not going anywhere with the fun. Just having fun and damaging themselves that's not a good recipe for success. And then you have children, and the children it becomes a repeat process. So I have seen growth in the urban communities because I've been in the urban communities, but I want to contribute to the urban communities, and create those spaces with some great people and employ some great people that's going to serve in those great spaces for the people. But in the interim, as I get my studies together and embark on my next career journey, it would be just lovely to share with a great partner. So we shall see how everything unfolds um, in this right here, because I just simply had the idea, like, and I promise you, my intentions was to come on here and do a shout out and just be like, please, where y'all at? But I didn't even have to do that. The thought was good enough, and the answer came quicker than I could even expect and presented itself so unexpectedly and efficiently that I'm just like, okay, okay. I'm just gonna think wellness for everybody, because even though I would like to be part of contributing, like, that doesn't mean don't start before, like, wait for me. Please don't wait for me. Please, if you're in a position right here right now to come together, there's spaces. If you have access to the funds, if you have the time to coordinate and do these things, please do so, because these urban communities need it. They need something beyond the basics. The basics is, okay, come here and do this 12 step, and you'll be fine. No, they need more than that. They need more than that because it goes beyond the surface. So they need to address those things. They need to address whatever traumas they have experienced. Whatever they need to address all of that. They need to heal. They need healing spaces. They don't need just spaces to recover a fucked up life. They don't need to recover a fucked up life and go and condition themselves to go into a fucked up system. There needs to be healing centers. They need to address substance abuse from a different perspective, not just from the perspective, well, just don't do that and things will be better. No, why? Why are they not doing that? Like, we got to give them reasons why, because not only because it's damaging to themselves, but okay, there's heal. Because if you're healed, you can contribute and make in a healthy way. Period. Period. That's the concentrated short version. If you're healed and you're healthy, you can contribute to society in a healthy way. Period. So they need healing centers. They don't need places to recover and go into a fucked up life. we don't want to condition them to go into a fucked up life because shit is fucked up out there. For what I heard, for what I hear, it's fucked up out there. Like it's people that have been planned out their lives, had government positions, punching in. People like that have lost their freaking livelihoods. It didn't just start because people were losing their livelihoods when they rejected the COVID shot. I helped the sister get into a place because she was at Presbyterian Hospital, public safety. She was there for over 20 years and they fired her because she rejected the COVID shot. She has a whole mortgage, insurance, an elderly mother that she was responsible for. So this stuff that we see the administration doing, he had started. He didn't start it. It was already started. It's just now more prevalent because a lot of people was jumping on that bandwagon with the COVID thing. I don't know why he firing officials and things of that sort, but he's done it. So that is evidence. That is evidence that the way society has been operating is fucked up. It's not right. It needs improvements. And everybody need to work together to improve this shit, okay? Everybody, okay? And those people who unfortunately need to heal from their traumas, those people who have other issues and challenges such as substance abuse, they can, once they are healed, once they are healthy, they can be contributing to part of the solution. So they need the healing space. We got to tell them, okay, this is a healing space and this is what we're going to do. This is what you're going to do. Come get yourself together and then go and make something great of yourself. Don't do the same shit that you've been seeing the shit that traumatized you. Don't do that shit. Don't do that shit. We got to make it make sense. Got to make sense. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, that's all I gotta say for today right now. I'm gonna just maybe work on my book. I may be going to the beach this weekend coming up, which would be fucking awesome. And I feel like me at the beach, be great. Me at the beach would be great. Me in a jacuzzi, great. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I don't know what this young man's intentions is, but we shall see. We shall see how he follows up and see how and see, we shall just see. But the vibe is good. The vibe was good. The vibe was good. And he's a cutie. He's a handsome guy now. He's handsome. He's handsome. The vibe is right. I'm like, mm-hmm. Okay, God. Okay, Devon. This is what I have attracted. I like it. I like it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But he may be moving to Houston soon, because he got family down there. So I'm just saying. So I'll be open and receptive. But I do know what's for me is going to show up, and I'm just going to stay in a state of gratitude, continue doing what I'm doing, taking care of me, healing on me. Because, I'm talking about healing, but I'm not talking about healing because I have arrived. I have the challenges of just moving and doing basic stuff. Right now, I'm looking at my pretty toes. They're pretty, but I can't touch them yet. I got to, it's a struggle. They right there, but so far away. Anywho, so we get up off of here. I did not go to the comedy thing yet, but I am going to do that with my new friend because they're funny. They're funny, and I think we would have a great time. So I'm still honoring Good old Nikki. Haven't done that yet as far as go to the comedy club, but it's on the bucket list and we'll do it before 2026 gets here. So anyway, thank you for tuning into the Super T podcast show. You know, I'll just be vlogging about my life most of the time, but I do have a regular episode every Sunday called Soulful Sundays. And you know what we do? We dive into the seat of the soul and we go deep. We get a little bit deep. Go beneath the surface, go beneath the surface, go beneath the surface, yeah. All right. Later, y'all.